In the past 5 series that I have published, I talked about mixed method, and I just decided to come and summarize mixed method. It is one of the most valuable research approach or method of inquiry, especially for PhD students, because it offers quite a lot of advantages. And one of the advantages, it can actually be used to investigate complex and multi-layer processes and systems that may require both the qualitative and quantitative. And this is actually very ideal for the PhD students. So it's very important for you to take note that if you're doing masters, if you want to take this approach, if you want to take this method of inquiry, or adopt this method of inquiry, you need to know that there is a lot of work that goes on in this method of inquiry. Then, therefore, then I don't encourage a master's student to take this approach. It's either you adopt a qualitative or you adopt the quantitative approach and leave out the mixed method. So in my first video, I talked about mixed method, the advantages of using mixed method. So if you go to the video, you will hear it for yourself. Then in the second video, I talked about the research paradigm in the video that I entitled the misty puzzle, the missing puzzle. The reason why I call it the missing puzzle is because most students, when they write the research methodology, they leave the paradigm. So it's very important that you need to take note that you don't need to leave your 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 paradigm. We need to know which side, which school of thought are you adopting. How do you see your world in your study? If you are a statistician and you see everything in numbers, you need to make sure that you pick the right paradigm so that we know that you are coming from the statistic world, and this is how you see your world. And if you see your world from a qualitative, from the words part, you need to make sure that you pick the right paradigm so that we know exactly from which side are you picking. I'm going to talk more about these paradigms as we go. But for mixed method, I encourage students to pick the pragmatism mixed method. It offers a lot of advantages. And one of the advantages is the principle what works best for the research, and that is the reason why I normally encourage students to pick that approach. It can offer a student a lot of flexibility. You can change. You can come back and change your design. If the design that you've chosen isn't working, you can come and change it. If the Yeah, so it's very important for you to take note that you need to make sure that you write your research paradigm. In the third video, which I titled "Pick Your Strategy," I talked about the designs, mixed method designs. And mixed method designs are a very good way for you to pick your strategy. We need to know how you intend to go out there and gather data. And mixed method gives us four strategies or four designs. The one being exploratory design, sequential design, explanatory sequential design, concurrent or convergent, then the last one being the nested one. I explained all these designs in those videos, and it's very important for you to look for those videos if you have not watched them, and watch the videos. It's very important for you to watch them, and it will give you an advantage when you are now writing your study, and you want to adopt one of the strategies to guide your study. Then the last one, which I called the meeting point, this is now the integration. We want to see, or we want to see in your work where qualitative data and quantitative data integrates, where they meet. That is why I called it the meeting point. And we have got three points or three levels that data, or that the two approaches, qualitative and quantitative, meet when you are using mixed method. The first one being the design level. And I spoke about the designs, the explanatory design, concurrent design, and the nested design. On the concurrent, you might see that that's where you might get some challenges. Data might not integrate well there, but in the other method, data will integrate very well. Then we've got the method level, and on the method level, I spoke about four ways in which data meet there, which was the connecting one, the building one, the merging one, and the last one, the embedding one. If you go to those videos, you will understand more about this and what I was actually saying. But it's very important for you to understand how data actually merge at that level. Then we have got the last one on data presentation, where data can also merge in quite a number quite a number of ways. We have got it can merge on a narrative, the way you report it. Then we have got the data transformation. Then the last one we have got the joint the joint display. On the narrative, and most students they like to use narrative whenever they are writing their report, or whenever they are writing their thesis. And when they are using narrative, there are also three ways to report using the narrative. We've got the weaving one, whereby you use the qualitative and the quantitative findings under discussing them under one theme. Then after the theme, then you move again. Then we have got the contiguous one, whereby you can report qualitative first or quantitative first, followed by qualitative, depending which one have you started with. This one is actually very good, especially for thesis, to report your findings separately. You can actually put them in the chapters. Then we have got the last one, the staged one, whereby after if you're starting to collect qualitative, you just collect qualitative data, then you analyze, then you publish them. Then you also collect then quantitative, you also publish them separately. So it's very important for you to know which strategies you are picking whenever you are using a mixed method. Then there is one thing that I also highlighted in the last video, which is called the feat of data integration. Feat of data integration, here we are referring to the coherence of your qualitative and quantitative data when you mix them together. In most cases, students they face that challenge of data not meeting the coherence, or which is not there is no coherence in the data as they report it. So, and if data meet, or if data cohere well, then it means that we in other words, we have got three ways in which we can actually test the fit of data coherence or data integration. The first one, which is the confirmatory or the confirmation, whereby qualitative findings and quantitative findings they actually agree. When they agree, we say data have got actually meet a high level for credibility. So this is where everyone would want to get to. We don't want our data not to agree. We don't want that. Then the second one is the extension, whereby you actually gain new insight. And for PhD, this is always the case. You end up getting new insight. What you start thinking and what you get at the end is actually two different things. And that's the advantage of us using mixed method. You get an insight. Because don't forget, these are we normally use this method of inquiry in a complex setting, whereby it's difficult to obtain data, or whereby information is actually hidden. So at the end of the day, if you do it very well, you actually achieve this data, or this level of integration, which we refer to as the extension. Then the last one, which is very tricky, is now the discordance. This discordance only happens when your data does not agree. Qualitative data, quantitative data, they are in disagreement. That is the time where you are in a very big problem as a researcher. So, but there are also a lot of things that you can do when your data reach that level of discordance. The first one, you need to check for your normality. It might be that you don't have enough participants in quantitative, or you don't have enough participants in qualitative. So if that is the case, you just need to go back and collect more data and analyze. You also need to go and check in your methodology about the biases in your study. You might also have a lot of biases. If there are some biases, try to eliminate the biases and come and run data. You can also go and record the information, use different strategies that I have actually highlighted. Use all those different strategies and rerun your data. If that's not working, you can also try to go back. You now need to weigh. If it's not working, just weigh your data and find which data do you want to use, or which data aligns well with your finding. If your qualitative data is the one that is aligning well with your study, then you make qualitative, give qualitative higher weight compared to quantitative. So you need to make qualitative, write qualitative in capital letters and the quantitative in small letters. If you remember, if you have watched those videos, you can recall. Then from that, if that happens, then you now need to use the data from qualitative, which is going to be the dominant study. Then then selectively report the data from quantitative, those data that supports your data from your main method of inquiry, which will be qualitative in this case. Then you'll be using a selective reporting. So by selecting reporting, you only take those findings that supports the results for qualitative. Then vice versa, if you have decided to make quantitative your dominant approach, and the qualitative the lesser dominant one, then you just need to extract whatever fits or whatever meets what you want to report or what you have reported in quantitative. So these are some of the things that you can actually do whenever you face the problem of discordance. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Let's not forget to share with other students, and let's not forget to leave some comments and subscribing. Thank you so much. Enjoy